Now, the former head of the investigating Directorate against Corruption, IDAC, advocate Andrea Johnson, is expected to return to the Madlanga Commission to conclude her testimony today. Let's go to SABC News reporter Canny Maphanga for more on this story. Canny, good morning again.
Well, good morning to Leanne and to the viewers once again. We expect Advocate Andrea Johnson to take the stand at 9:30 a.m., which is expected to be her final day on the stand before the Madlanga Commission, speaking to those allegations against IDAC. However, we expect that the IDAC stream will continue quite extensively following this particular evidence that we've seen, where the line of questioning has exposed what could be the alleged true intentions behind IDAC in its conduct, which goes far beyond its mandate, breaks the prescripts, and doesn't follow the expected operational methods of a unit that was designed to fight high-level corruption, rather, because we do see at the very least, with that subpoena authorized by Advocate Johnson, it shows that the true target, alleged target of IDAC's investigations or interest in crime intelligence of the PKTT was Lieutenant General Dumsani Khumalo, Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Khwanazi, and General Fani Masemola. The only question that now remains in the air is, what was this really about? Who triggered this interest in these three individuals that requires them to be removed or dealt with in terms of IDAC, and why IDAC was such a key role ensuring that this particular, or rather these individuals, become part of this alleged plot, if you could put it that way, or gives credence to the allegations that these individuals were part of a target of the IDAC. And we do see that with the evidence that has been culminated so far, that a lot of questions arise for Senzan Mchunu to return to the Commission and answer to, and then more questions arise for Mr. Peramo, who is an investigator within IDAC, Mr. Manalal as well, an investigator within IDAC, I think that's a prosecutor, Advocate Ramsamy has further details, and Mr. Rapesu, to understand why there is such an interest in these particular individuals and why they wanted to ensure that crime intelligence and PKTT cases become the ambit of IDAC. And that is a question that's going to continue to play out this morning as Advocate Johnson rounds up that particular evidence with respect to her alleged role and the things that would have taken place under IDAC's watch. But we do know there's several other key role players, and what we're warming up to now will be questions surrounding who triggered or who had an interest in the PKTT and why they wanted these specific generals to be dealt with. A lot of that answers in those questions will be found in the evidence that relates to the events that lead up to the July media briefing. IDAC is now serving as a key role player and understanding the events that lead up to that particular briefing, and we expect that if they're not able to crack that information through Advocate Andrea Johnson, who has since resigned and has really distanced herself as if the investigators acted out of their own will, surely they should be able to crack that information out of the investigators, because at all times this investigation or these probes had nothing to do with Fadil Adams' statement or the allegations contained in. It seems that what was contained in that Section 27 referral affidavit was used as a springboard in order to go into different areas that would allegedly target these specific top cops. And now the question that remains is who is behind these actions and who must be, or rather who the Commission must attribute these actions to, and to what end. Is this alleged political interference? Is this an infiltration? We'll find out as the evidence continues at 9:30 a.m.
All right, Canny, we'll see you then. Thanks for that. Remember, the agenda taking over at 9 o'clock, and we do take those proceedings live.